We're back. Redder, what's going on?
Ali, how you doing?
Not bad, man. Sydney Derby on the weekend.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Did you rate it?
It was alright.
It was a terrible game.
I don't know.
But it was a good result for the Wanderers, though.
Yeah, it was a very good result for Wanderers.
To come back.
I'm sure Stevie will have a lot to talk about.
Steve, me and Steve were at the game. They nearly clinched it right at the end, the Wanderers.
Didn't watch much of it.
No, we drank a lot, but... And Steve had to coach on Sunday.
It was a social
What time did you start on Sunday?
Not late enough.
I was a bit dusty.
But nah, is that where we're at the moment with Wanderers? That a draw in the derby's a good result? Like, please, come on, man.
Yeah, but the last couple of derbies have been getting thrashed, so it's progress.
Yeah.
That's the positive.
Progress
we
never
didn't
stops.
lose, but I still wouldn't say it's a good result. We should have won.
Your Liverpool's up there, man.
What a result.
2-0 over
Chelsea. 2-0. I was a little bit worried about that. It's now game one. Pressure Man City.
It's going to go right down to the wire, I reckon.
It will.
Right down to the wire.
Interesting.
And yeah, is this Champions League this week?
This week, yeah.
Champions League week.
You're going to...
Training game in Porto. We'll be alright.
Training game in Porto. Look at this guy.
Look, and I saw a photo of Drake in a Barcelona jersey, so that's my fingers crossed for let's come back.
Did you see? I think AS Roma banned their players from taking photos with Drake.
Yes,
they put it on Twitter.
That. It's actually serious. It's on their Twitter.
Yeah.
I made sure I went on the Twitter account and I saw it.
Well, their Twitter account's just banter anyway. They just sit there making fun of everything.
Are we going to introduce our guest?
And well, we're going to get to it. And today's guest is Anthony Frangie. How are you, man?
Good guys, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. You want to speak into the mic?
Oh, sorry about that. Bit new to this, take it easy.
You're doing a big win on the weekend for you guys.
They're not bad, 5-0 result.
5-0 over United, which is quality side.
Local derby.
Local derby. There's some
Bragging
drama.
rights. Yeah, a lot of drama actually.
Good atmosphere.
Quality atmosphere.
Yeah.
Wish it never ended.
Yeah.
Woke up Sunday. Why can't we
Take
still
me
be playing?
back.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got team of the week.
They're not bad.
That's your second this season.
Yeah, it's been
You're
alright.
doing well. Last season you had a good season as well.
Yeah, not too
Hakar.
bad.
You banged how many goals was it?
I think it was 11 or 12 goals
From
in like
15?
16 games.
Yeah, it's good.
So, yeah,
So
not
how's
too
it
bad.
at Marconi this season?
It's been really well so far. We had like a slow start to the season with 2 losses, but now we're back to winning ways and hopefully we can keep it that way.
Yeah, well, Steve was saying that, on your day, you guys can thrash anyone, basically.
As you've seen against United.
Yeah, it was a thumping. And then, was it the FA Cup last week as well?
FA Cup, I think it was 8-1.
Who was that against?
Don't even know.
It's not NPL 1. He doesn't know.
So,
Yeah.
some team out from 5 Dock, I think.
Oh, okay, so it was a park team.
I think so, yeah. Some
okay.
local team.
And they scored.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, not bad. Counter attack. Caught sleeping. So, yeah.
Did you score in that game?
Yeah,
How many?
just one.
Just one. There's 8 goals, man.
Gave away a few goals. I let one of the young boys take the pence and free kicks. So,
Yeah. You playing out wide this season, yeah?
yeah, out wide.
Yeah.
Right or left doesn't. Wherever we feel comfortable. on the
Do you,
day.
do you feel more comfortable playing wide or in the middle?
I like playing out wide because I don't have my back to goal.
Yeah.
So I can attack the play in front of me, try to use some skills, get down the line, whip it in.
Yeah, what do you think
Fine.
your strongest attributes are?
Probably just dribbling.
Yeah.
Dribbling, yeah. I like to keep the ball close to me. So the defenders try to take it, they struggle. Get them on their back foot and then, try and make something happen.
Yeah. And you've been a day oneer at the factory.
OG in the factory.
Yeah.
I've been here for what, 2 years, 3 years?
We haven't been here for that long.
Have you?
It's nearly 2 years in June.
2 years.
So it's been that long, on and off. It's been a long time. Been good working.
Yeah.
You got some good insights about
I have
Frangie.
lots of insights about old Anthony over here. One of the most naturally gifted players I have ever had the pleasure of working with, and one of the laziest players I have ever had the displeasure of working with. We used to have this old trick where before we had the nets on the top, you'd have a shot and ball would go over. We've got 50 balls lined up. He's like, nah, I'll go get the ball.
Discipline.
Like, bro, I know what you're doing, man. Just come back.
Could have the best of both worlds.
That's the thing. I've seen you do a half session in here, then on the weekend you absolutely smash it.
Yeah, game's very different towards training, but I should start changing that. So yeah, we've been trying to train hard recently. So
There are a lot of players like that. I mean, Nicholas Bentner was one renowned for it. Was brilliant in training, but in a match he was absolute garbage.
Did you really just bring up Nicholas Bentner?
I did, because it's that kind of thing where some players are really good in training, come to a game they bottle it, and you're vice versa.
Thank
come
God.
to the game, you smash it.
Steve, I'm done. I was going to take a seat. Halfway through his head. I'm going to take a
It's
seat.
10
I'm
minutes
here on
for
the
it.
board, bro. What are you doing?
We
You
do
got
sets
toilet.
of one. Yeah, so what's on the game plan today, Redder? You got
Yeah,
some
some topics you wanted
opinions,
to talk
mate.
about.
Yeah, I do. I
What are
think
they?
since we've got Frangie, it's probably good topic to talk, I guess, about the NPL, where it's sitting at the moment. As well, probably a little bit about the B-League or the Championship again, I guess. And everyone's thoughts on if some NPL clubs are, good enough, I guess, or can be stable enough to reach that. So, I don't know, what else we got in
I think that was it, and some banter.
a bit of banter, yeah, as
bit of
usual.
insights.
Yeah.
So let's kick it off, because you sent an article today about I think it was 30 teams that were going to put their name.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
expressed interest.
Yeah, 30 teams within the NPL. So as far as I know, it's Queensland, New South Wales, and Victoria. 30 teams in there. Sydney United, Marconi, I think, were the ones that expressed their interest. All wanting the second league, I guess, want to join in. And there's a lot of backing, I guess, from a lot of fans that want to see. I guess they kind of go back to the days of the NSL days.
Yeah.
I want to hear everyone's thoughts on it. I think Stevie would probably be the most knowledgeable about exactly what happened at the NSL. I've got my own thoughts as well on it. ALeague,
I was too young.
as-
I don't remember it.
See, the thing is with me, I'm too young as well, and I don't know exactly what happened either. But I had a bit of a look, and it was a bit of a shambles the last 3-4 years of the NSL, if I'm not mistaken. So. A lot of fans are asking for it, and I feel like the most of the people that are asking are probably my generation, me and Anthony's generation, in the 20s, where we don't really know what happened. But Steve, kick it off. What
Steve,
happened?
since you're the oldest person.
Yeah,
in the room,
not
please
because
kick it
he's
off.
oldest, but
I know, we're the old ones.
I was still young back then.
Yeah.
So how old are you now, Steve?
48.
Wow.
No, we asked that question before. I'm not going to tell you my response. Depends on time. No. So I haven't. I don't know. We spoke about it last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
There was problems with their different
Ethnicities, yeah.
Yeah. And there was clashes and things like that. But I think we spoke about it, just saying that they were blown up to be major things. I don't think it was ran well. Football in this country's never really been ran well. And it was that transition from Soccer Australia to football, whatever the calamity is right now. And that was the problem. There was no viewership. I think one of the TV channels bought the rights to then not air it. So it's been a long attack on the game that they haven't wanted to succeed. And then obviously the introduction of the A-League meant the demise of the traditional clubs. So your clubs like Marconi, Sydney United, and then Melbourne Knights and those kind of things,
Yeah,
Adelaide
Sydney
City across the country, who had very heavy ties with their local community. So if you look at Marconi, Bosley Park, a big Italian community, that was something that was formed by them, and they had a club to be proud of, and then it was replaced by, we'll just say, franchises now.
Yeah.
That didn't exist back in the day, that have no history really.
Yeah, well, they created it to get rid of the history.
Being created
basically.
by corporates,
Yeah, and that was a whole kind of shift. But towards the end of the NSL, the crowds were dying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Its glory was probably in the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Whereas it was pretty big. even
I think
towards
it's
the late
important we
90s.
talk about it because everyone's talking about the second league and whatever it is, and the clubs can pull out fans and stuff, but I think there's more to it. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's financial aspects. I looked at I was reading a few old articles, archived articles, and some of the financial issues they face. Players not getting paid. Apparently one physio per team.
Players were part-time as
Yeah,
well.
players were part-time.
Yeah.
Some would be a mechanic and then go to
It
training.
wasn't a professional league.
It was in a professional environment, and it's I think a thing we need to focus on and really think about before we just jump the gun and be like, oh yeah, let's remember the NSL days, because in the last 20 years, it's probably, I don't know if people are going to agree with me, but the best thing that happened was to introduce the A-League. I said as a professional standard, but the problem was we stopped there, didn't we? We didn't do anything more. We just set up an A-League, and then we added probably 2 more teams. Those two new teams were gone. I don't know if you remember North Queensland Fury.
Yeah.
Out. Gold
Gold
Coast
Coast.
out.
Robbie Fowler had one of my childhood heroes.
Yeah.
I was living on the Gold Coast at the time when he was playing, so it was when Gold Coast United were around. So I used to go there and watch the games in the little bit of the stadium that was open.
Yeah.
And then watch Robbie Fowler. That was
Yeah.
literally
And then we
the
had
only
Gold
games I ever
Coast.
watched.
And then because we kicked Gold Coast out, the FFA was forced, or I guess in a position that they didn't want to go back to 8 teams.
Yeah. But I remember back
And they
in,
dropped
so
the
I was at
Wanderers.
Marconi, how old was I, 13, 14, so maybe 22 years ago, 22, 23 years ago. When I was there, I remember going to Marconi every weekend when they were at home. My dad man used to take me, used to go with a couple of mates and then be behind the goals. So that was my first introduction to active support. So yeah, they were good times back then, and obviously it started to diminish a little bit later on within the NSL, but yeah.
Come join our new fan group, actually.
I've seen there's a new
Ooh.
fan
La
group.
Stella.
Yeah.
Come back like
I
old
think I'm
days.
too old for that group, bro.
Have you seen the age groups in some of those?
Yeah.
The Sydney United ones, the NSL supporters still there.
Yeah. No, I think the Marconi one's
Yeah.
young, but
It was
Yeah.
good, but it was
You
good
get
to
a
see.
mix- Well, I think for them it's that sense of culture, especially it's their their background, their
Mhm.
cultural background and stuff, and the clubs associated to their cultural upbringings.
Mm.
And I think that's where, in a way, the A-League lost some of its fans, and they
Mm.
never kind of gained them because of that. And you see, like, I've got a lot of friends that still go to Sydney Olympic games, that still go to Sydney United games, but won't go to an A-League game.
Mm.
And it's just their draw to the
100%.
just they feel better at home. Even though
I think I was texting you boys when we were at the stadium. I was like, "Oh, what's a vibe like here? Like, it's not, doesn't feel
Yeah.
like a derby." But the thing is, like, I don't know if we've spoken about it in previous podcasts. Wanderers lost their fans. Oh, a lot of them boycotted and don't go anymore. Sydney FC had same result happened to Sydney FC fans. They weren't at the derby either. I mean, there was a few of them. No, it's actual. It's a dynamo effect. You know what I mean?
Like the Cove supporters only turn up when it's going to be a big game. Like it's a
Yeah.
fact, and that's Australian football. Only turn up when it's a big game or when your team's doing really well.
But it was a big game. Was there a big
Yeah, but
turnout
Sydney
for
FC
that?
never really had a lot of
Yeah.
fans. Like that. Let's be honest. At the peak when they were doing
Yeah.
really well, like under Arnold, like 2 seasons ago when they
I
won
think
it,
they were doing.
they were getting like 13, 14,000 a game, which was good. But you look at Wanderers, they're getting 25,000 a game.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
I think the Cove, the Melbourne Victory fans and etc. They were all around when the RBB was introduced. Now we're not specifically saying RBB like the best
Yeah.
fan group, or whatever, but they created this culture where fans would go out and clash. Who was the loudest on the field? Like, I mean, the Melbourne, even the Melbourne derby. Different states, but you still had that rivalry. Like, you felt it.
Yeah, there was something. It was just
Yeah,
like
it
the
was
two
something.
big clubs.
It's gone. It's gone now. Yeah.
It's just Australian football, really. It comes down to that. It's Australian culture. It's
You
the
think
same
so?
in a rugby league. Your team's doing crap, but you look at the crowds, it's like 3,000 people.
Mm.
But the derby's dead. That rivalry's not even there. First 2 minutes, what was it? There was a tackle on the sideline. Nikovic dives, and then Babel picks him up. You're having a laugh, bro. This is a derby. It's been happening all year. Players come in. There's a tackle in the derby, pick it up. Since when did that ever happen?
No.
We spoke about that at the game. So it was a couple of years ago with Olganovsky, and I can't stand Olganovsky as a player when he was at Sydney. And
Centre back, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, quality.
And then Janjetovic tried to pick up one of the Wanderers players that was injured, and he went over and started yelling at him, like pretty much saying, "What are you doing, man? This is like a derby. We don't. That's the enemy." And 100%, that's what a derby should be. And this shaking hands and picking players up and patting them on the back. It's not a derby, bro. We don't want to see
Steve wants you to go past, give him a kick,
that. I want you to
and
kick
keep
him
walking.
100% as a derby, bro. Kick him, and that's it.
Yeah, you're
And
meant to be
work on with it.
ruthless in a way.
Mm.
But that's the thing. That's the type of attitude that FA don't like. Oh, you can't be doing that.
Casual fan doesn't like that.
Oh, you can't be doing that. It's
It's not a
aggressive.
family-
You know
family
what?
environment, bro.
It's those same people that go, oh, football's for pansies, but you do something like that. Oh, that was disgusting. That was aggressive.
Mm.
You know? And then, football's for girls. I'll go watch my rugby league.
Mm. But you just mentioned something about casual fans. Real question: did casual fans ever complain about what was happening in the A-League matches? Honestly,
Dunno.
I don't think it was even.
Yeah,
there.
they did, man.
I think they did.
Yeah, I know some casual fans. That, that's especially when Wanderers did that Graham Arnold with the penis inserting into his mouth.
Mm.
The casual fans were, oh, that's disgusting. I take my children there. I won't take them there anymore because those fans are disgusting. And I'm a Sydney FC fan, and I was like, that was hilarious. It was hilarious. Like, you can't sit there and look at that and go, the fuck, that was comedy.
Maybe that
It was
I think was a
quality.
bit too far.
It was, but at the
Maybe
same
running
time,
some
you know,
kids,
there's
but-
banter. You see the ones in Europe, they're, cutting people's heads and stuff. Like, they're
Yeah.
massive banners across
Yeah.
the whole side of the stadium.
Yeah.
Like,
But we don't want to be like that anyway. I think we just
Yeah.
want that nice rivalry where you go into the stadium, whatever happens, get out. That's it.
But that's the thing. All it does is creates the hostile environment in the stadium for the players to back your fans. So if you're an away team, you feel like it's a away game. You go play at ANZ. Does it feel like an away game?
Well, we spoke about that before. In the
No.
derbies, when the Sydney players used to walk out, even just for warm-up, it was just booze the whole time.
Yeah.
When names were called out, it was booze the whole time. Now it's nothing. They score, it's just nothing.
But that's
You
what I mean.
get
That's
on
not aggressive. That's just fun. Like that's what I mean. Showing that hostility in the stadium, that's fine. Because when they go out, they don't care. They're not punching on. They're not doing anything stupid.
Yeah.
How many brawls do you really have?
Yeah.
With the active supporters, you don't have any. Because as soon as it's done, they go on. They win, lose, draw. They don't care. They're still celebrating. They had a
Yeah.
good time. It's an outing. And that's where they don't understand, you know. That's the casual fan doesn't understand that. It's part of the game. That's why they're there, you know.
Interesting.
But yeah, what do you think, Anthony? Do you follow much of the A-League or not?
Not really, to be fair.
Why is that?
Just no idea. I've just got a few favourite teams there. I like the way they play. So Melbourne Victory is one.
Yeah.
And Sydney FC. Only two teams I.
Ooh,
Really?
Steve's giving them dirty looks.
Steve's getting
Yeah, man.
dirty.
Play well.
Yeah, man. I don't mind them.
Since when?
Since Arnold took over.
He's a City fan. He even knows that's not true.
Well, they were playing good. When Arnold was in charge and they won, they were playing good.
Playing amazing.
They're holding the game down. They weren't conceding goals.
Putting everybody behind.
Nah,
the
but let's I guess go back to focus on NPL. Like, what do you? How's the standards there compared to the A-League?
I don't know, much more different. Actually, I wouldn't even know. I've never played A-League, so.
Yeah. But in
Wouldn't
terms of
understand
seeing it, yeah.
In terms of seeing it, I don't know what to say.
Mm.
Yeah, this is actually a good question for Steve. You've obviously trained Anthony, and you've trained A-League players. What's the difference between them?
They don't sit down mid-set.
Other than that, like technically, you know.
I've said this before. It comes down to luck. So having somebody see you, somebody be in the right place, right time, a coach sees you looking for a particular player. So somebody like this one, for example, technically, I'd say he's superior than a lot of the A-League players that we work with. And some of the things that you see him do on the field is better. Obviously, NPL's a lower standard, perceived lower standard than what the A-League is. But yeah, for me, it comes down to that luck. There's not massive. And then we spoke about it becomes that extra training when you get into that professional environment. But if you put two players in a training session, so if I had Anthony in a session with one of the A-League boys, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. And Anthony, do you work as well?
Part-time, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
you're
And studying also.
okay. So that's also the other thing of not being a professional is you got all the other stuff that you gotta
Take care of.
take care of. You know, what I mean, you actually have to live a life. You
Yeah.
can't be chasing becoming a professional because especially we know in this country, it's who you know. You know, you got to have the connection. If you don't have connections, forget it. You'll be playing NPL if you're lucky.
It's true.
Do you find it tough, like trying to break into the A-League? You had trial with Mariners last season.
Yes. Pretty tough. You're training full time, so you have to train full time as well. When you're not used to it, your body's not used to it because you're not training that often. So they train every day.
Yeah.
Last year we were training twice a week. So from twice a week to,
Full-time.
five to 4 times a week was pretty hard. And I also had to go back to the NPL and play a weekend game and so on. So yeah, it was pretty hard to.
Yeah. Do you think that makes it harder for you to kind of chase that pro dream?
Yes and no.
So what's the yes part and what's the no part?
I think it doesn't make it harder, because when you get your foot there, you're gonna have to do it anyways. You know what I mean? So you just need to do extras. That's about it. So probably some nights go to the gym, go for a run. Keep fit.
Get
Yeah.
back in the factory and start training.
Exactly.
I guess it's a professional aspect, eh?
Yeah.
Going to training, waking
Exactly.
up, spend the rest of your day doing other things.
Yeah, true. So those
Little
boys,
extras.
they can train, recover for the rest of the day, sit down. Like for us, we go to work and then go training and then sleep, work, and then train, and then play on the weekend. So it's pretty hard for us.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And you've always played NPL 1 or were you at a different club? Because you're at Hakoah last season.
Yeah, I was at Hakoah last season and then played overseas for a year and a half.
Where'd you play?
Played in Portugal for CDN Nacional.
Yeah. How was that?
It was pretty good,
Yeah.
Learned a lot over there, living by myself as well as a person, not just football-wise. So, it's pretty good. Learned a lot there. Learned, different styles of football. I learned how to play quick. So when I came back here, it was more, I realized I had more time on the ball here.
Yeah.
But over there, you had to two touch. Always there's always a man on you. You always got to be aware. And yeah.
What do you think? Like you're in that environment and now you're like NPL. What's the coaching level? Is it more technical over there?
It's very more it's technical more there, Yeah, it's just a bit more technical there. That's about it.
And you've been at 2 NPL clubs. Are they pretty much similar? Like coaching wise and at the level or?
Marconi has a good setup. We got our strength and conditioning coach. We got a assistant coach, 2 assistant coaches. You know, they wash our kit for us. We got a kit manager, full-time physio, full-time masseuse.
Is
You
it
know,
the
ice
same
baths
person?
after training. Yep. So, you know, back at Oka, we only trained twice a day. We didn't really have our own facilities. We were renting down at Hensley.
Yeah.
So that's where they play out of. Twice a week. Had a physio, had an assistant coach. But yeah, we're just lacking, you know, just a bit more.
Yeah. So if there's like a B League thing, would you welcome that? Like to have a championship in Australia?
Yeah, it'd actually be very lovely, you know. If they can make it professional, you know, where people don't have to work part-time as well. Or,
Yeah.
you know, don't have to play football part-time. That'd be good. So
Yeah.
yeah, make a living out of football.
Is
That's
that
what we all want to do.
is that still your dream?
Yeah, of
Is that
course.
still what you're chasing?
Of course.
How old are you now?
21.
She's still young.
I think so. I like to hope so.
Steve, is he still young or it's over?
No,
The
it's
dream's
definitely
over.
not It hasn't even begun yet. I tell him all the time, pull your
Yeah.
finger out. That's what is happening. 100%.
Well, at least he makes the effort to calm down.
He does.
That's more than 90% of the league,
Mm.
especially NPL. Because a lot of NPL players don't do extra sessions.
Mm.
Like they don't train anywhere else. Like we have more ALeague players doing extra sessions and training elsewhere
Mhm.
than an NPL player, and you know they're the ones that want to become pro.
Yeah.
What's the environment like in your team though? Like the mentality of other players? Because I've heard that you know a lot of them could not care less. They're just there for the pay packet.
That's actually a lie, you know.
Is it?
Working with Pav, Marco Jesic, and Mitch Marley, and many more. You know, they will bring that elite mindset where they want to win. You know, everything they do in training, they do it for purpose. So, you know, you could stand still on a cone, but you know they'd like to check off, come in, you know,
Yeah.
and working and playing with those boys, you know, helps me a lot. You know what I mean? They put that winning mentality in my head. They teach me the right ways, what I should be doing, and what I should not be doing, which is good. So yeah, it's good to learn off those boys.
But do a lot of them want to be pro players? I get the winning aspect and wanting to do well, but
They would
is-
like to be pros, but they got to be honest. They're pretty old now.
yeah, but even the others, like the younger players. 'cause
All
some-
the younger players, you know, we do doing extras. You know, go to the gym before training because there's a gym just, you know, at Marconi. There's a gym down there which we get free gym memberships, which is good. So we try to go in there, do a session, come back, and start training. So
yeah,
yeah, the boys all have their heads screwed on and want to make football their career.
yeah. You guys are gonna win it this year?
Hopefully.
Do you believe you're gonna win it?
Yes, that's the plan. We do believe. After this weekend, we do
Who
believe.
you got next week?
Next week, I think Sutherland.
Should be
This
another
Saturday.
5-0
Hopefully I can score as well.
hat trick.
It's on the cards.
Team of the week.
Maybe.
Who do you know at Football New South Wales? Like,
No
how
one.
does this keep
No one,
happening? No goals yet.
Is the
Two
th-
team of the week.
Third person to say it to me.
5 weeks, 6 weeks. How long is it?
Which just shows how much better he's playing. The fact that you're team of the week and you haven't scored a goal.
Exactly.
How many assists did you get?
I don't keep count, eh? Assist the first goal, that's all I remember. And then the rest of the night was a blur.
Did you
I
just
think one
remember
of
the
the
people
late ones.
brawling?
Oh no, you put the ball in, then he crossed it across and was tapping the far post. I think
Yeah.
that was the 5th one.
What's your ambitions for the FA Cup or the club's ambitions? Have you set a target or just take it as it comes, game by game?
We want to hit around the 32 and then see what happens from there. But yeah, we don't. The good thing about our coaches, all they want to do is win, no matter what the game is. Even in the trial matches, we wanted to win.
Mm.
Friendlies, we wanted to win. Playing against our own 20s, we want to win. So yeah, they put winning in our heads, and we got to keep it that way.
Yeah. Who's your favourite player?
What, in the league or
Just
in
like
general?
in football.
Probably Ronaldo. Ronaldo or Scholes. Yeah.
Just goals.
Yeah.
That made Redder happy.
Similar players.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronaldo's mindset and then Scholes' quality. You know, just an unbelievable player.
You got to
Yeah.
be a United fan.
Yeah,
You gotta
United
be
fan.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Bleeds
yeah.
red.
Bleeds red.
Yeah. Well, you can't say that because Liverpool are red as well, so
I know.
I'll change that.
Who's the older club? Liverpool or Man United?
I don't know. Liverpool's 1892. I know that much.
Yeah.
I don't know when United was.
Don't know, mate.
Come on, man. This guy knows his history.
I don't know. Anthony, back me up here.
I don't even know. Too young.
Too young. Yeah. So now going back to the B League, where do you think that's going to go? Because your professional leagues all franchises. Your B League, you know, you mentioned that there's Malaysian teams and Indonesian teams that wanted to get a piece of it. Where is it going to go? Is it going to be 10 teams? Is it going to be 20 teams? Because you said 30 teams expressed interest.
Yeah, that's
That's a
for the
lot.
championship. I guess there's different perspectives on how people want to go with it. Some people are looking at the MLS franchise in terms of even going, because I believe the MLS has even
Because they have like Eastern and Western Conference
Western,
as well.
and then they've got Canadian teams, and then apparently they want to introduce Mexican as well because they thought that the subscription of viewers will go up. So they thought of it in a business aspect. Someone in Australia has introduced that idea with Malaysia and Indonesia because there's such large populations.
What's the travel time though to go to Malaysia?
It
and
can't
Indonesia?
happen. There's no way in the world.
Yeah.
We spoke about that
I
episode.
don't think it's. I think we should just worry about
But
ourselves.
it's Australia. It's full of gimmicks.
Can't be
It's all
further
about the
than.
gimmicks.
But conferences is an American thing anyway. It's in the basketball. It's in everything. That's how.
Yeah,
they
Yeah, but
do
it's
big.
because the country's big, so they split it and
Yeah.
do the travel, and that makes sense for a championship, especially the teams don't have that much money, like flight times to.
We spoke about this before. Would a club like Marconi be able to afford to be in the top league, in the ALeague, let alone in the second division? 100% a club like Marconi.
Yes and a no.
Or the money they got from the
They'll
league.
still need more sponsorships, definitely.
Yeah, but it's just the club that's generating money. Like,
I reckon that's where
Yeah.
the FFA should jump in and help out there.
yeah, but you also look at the rugby league, the Canterbury Leagues Club.
Yeah, West
You
Leagues.
know, the West Leagues, like they're all getting pokies money. Let's be honest. So at the end of the
Plus
day,
kids' registration fees as well.
yeah, and football has the highest registration fees and the highest participation. So how can that kind of not work? And these
I think
teams
even
go
before that,
professional.
even before we even consider a second league, everyone's been pushing for it. Personally, for me, my opinion,
You're against it.
I'm not against. I like the idea of it, but I think that we're not.
You want a
we want a
20-team
solid.
A-League.
Nah, not 20 team. Let's just say 16. Let's get 16 right. Let's get them right, and then we can think about a second B League
But
team.
what are you going to put 3 teams in each city?
If it's a well-established club already, so if it's an NPL club,
Red is a
maybe
fan
think
of just
about
multiple teams in one city.
that. No, I'm a fan of football.
Yeah, but there's if you're going to get 5 Sydney teams eventually, like rugby league,
Yeah.
there's 5 Sydney teams. Where are the fans going to come from?
But we spoke about this, like being there at the derby, and you and me were talking about
Yeah.
that. The A-League's dead. If that's the crowd that we're getting to a derby, where Sydney
Derby.
still have something to play for, Wanderers have pride to play for, whatever it is, that was dead. Like, it was just like you were going to any other
But let me
game.
ask
There
you,
was no atmosphere. There was
If we go
nothing.
back to Para, or Wanderers go back to Para, what do you reckon?
Where are they going to come from? What, people are just going to magic peel? We've got a new stadium and people are just going to come in. And even if they are the people, it's not the same people that helped form this club. And they have been lost along the way. And it was founded on a community kind of focus within the club, and that's gone. A lot of the people feel like they haven't been treated like a family or a community by the club. So I can't say magically, will there be more fans? 100% there'll be more fans. Is it going to be the fans that helped make that original Wanderers? I don't think so. Will Wanderers go back to being the club they were? I don't think so.
No, not in that with the the fan and cultural
Which
kind
is
of
sad to
backing.
say. Yeah,
It
but I don't
won't be
think it will.
loud and feel like a home game. But I think it will start selling out Parramatta, especially if the Wanderers do well.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if your team's doing well, A-League
Yeah,
supporters
look at
turn up.
Perth. Perth is
Yeah.
getting record attendance. Everyone
you know
forgets
what?
about Perth. Everyone plays
But they
good
used to get it
football.
in
So far
NSL
away.
Yeah.
when they were really good, especially towards the end, they were getting big crowds.
Mm.
Because there isn't, other than the AFL, there's no rugby league team. Their rugby union teams getting crowds here and there, but there's no reason for them not to get fans.
Yeah. Once the RBB started tumbling down with the number of crowd, everyone else got affected.
Yeah, it
Just
is.
straightforward as that. Numbers speak.
It's like motivation just
It's
trump.
motivation. No, it actually is
They're
because
not going, I'm not going.
the Cove literally wanted to go out because the RBB was coming in force, and then you got Melbourne as well. Like, who are these guys coming to our area or our city? That was actually the mentality. That's how people thought of it. Now it's like, oh, who's gonna come? So yeah.
Would you go to a B-League game, Frangie?
I'll go to any game.
You
So-
said you don't like football.
Just an A-League, except an A-League game.
Just to go, except an A-League.
But yeah, so back to where we were going, like about this second division, and is it feasible there? If the A-League stays the same, it's dying. It's on its last legs. Bringing extra teams in,
Make it worse.
I can't see how it's going to be better. Like a Campbelltown team is going to all of a sudden bring that vibe back into the league. Like seriously, our third Melbourne team, the second Melbourne team didn't work, and that's backed by the City Group.
What
What's
they're
going to
saying?
make it?
They're the
a
only
third.
Australian team not to win the Premier's Plate,
Yeah, that's right.
Melbourne City,
Yeah.
and they're the
That's true.
richest.
But that's what I mean. I can't see. There's something needs to change. Like we spoke about it every week. Something needs to change from the top, but something needs to happen quickly for the A-League, and then to unite the whole football community. Because if you look at when the A-League came in, as we said, it meant the end of the natural clubs. So the clubs, the Marconis, and those kind of things that were there before. If it doesn't. So we've got the A-League fans and new fans. Some people jumped on boards, a lot didn't, and you're starting to see that with the rise of the this is what you wanted to talk about. So the rise of the ultras in
Mm.
the NPL, people want to go express themselves and they enjoy doing that at a game, and the A-League isn't providing that platform. So there needs to be something to unite the whole football community. So if you look at comments on social media and things like that, people refer to the A-League as franchises and things like that, which they've never related with. So they've stayed true to their Sydney Uniteds, Melbourne Knights, South Melbournes, whatever it might be. So it'd be interesting to see what happens once everybody's on that playing field and then the whole football community is united.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's like South Melbourne, they're pulling, I think, average like 6,000-7,000.
Yeah.
And the NPL, man, like that's huge.
Mm.
Um,
And they were
some of the
pushing heavy for the.
Yeah, for a license, and they didn't get it. But I think they're backing the Western Melbourne team now.
Yeah.
But it's the fans will come. Like there's enough people in Sydney, for instance, to back 3 teams, but you got to make it like good. If you don't make it good, who's gonna turn up?
That's the thing. Yeah, it's got to be some sort of motivation to go.
Yeah,
Like.
and where you take away the salary cap and you bring in better marquees and stuff like that. I don't know. Is that your answers? Because in the US, I think that the league has those designated players.
Well, at least in the US, they respect some of the marquee players they bring in. Like David Beckham played there how many years ago? Now he's got a statue in place.
Yeah.
We don't respect our.
I look at their
players.
marquees compared to our marquees.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's not
Yeah, I mean, but we had Del Piero.
Drogba.
We had Del Piero.
Ibrahimovic.
We had Del Piero though, and he was a World Cup winning champion, one of the most valuable
Yeah,
players.
that was
But we never,
massive, don't get me
but
wrong,
we
but
never
what else has there
respected
been
him
apart
on
from
bit.
that?
What have we? Like I was hearing it the other day. Someone goes, "Oh, how come we're not even bringing him to like hand the trophy over?" So something like
It's
small,
probably 'cause
an
he doesn't wanna
ambassador
come
role.
here.
Well, not even an ambassador role.
Bring Del Piero in to give the teams a trophy.
Not a trophy, as in like literally
hand
trophy.
him out.
Like,
Will you
hand
take
him a
photos
trophy.
with the players after?
They probably would,
Sorry,
right?
guys.
But in terms
Alex
of an
Tobin
ambassador
doing it now.
role,
Alex Owen.
yeah,
Leave Alex Tobin.
yeah,
Captain.
ambassador role. Yeah, something there.
Yeah, but they don't want to pay the fees, mate. So, boys, who's going to win the A-League? Steve, the Wanderers aren't going to win it. So I know you don't give a shit.
Not really. I hope,
But who do you think?
I hope Perth win it. I hope Perth win it.
Yeah?
Yep.
Papa? You want Papa to win with
No,
another
not
club?
Papa.
And you never won it with the Wanderers?
Nah, Perth's just one of those clubs that, no disrespect if you're a Perth fan, but that you don't really mind. Like, you don't really, not
It's
bothered
a
by.
neutrals
There's
club,
no,
isn't it?
Yeah, they're a neutral
There's no
club.
hatred. There's nothing.
It's like Newcastle last year. You were hoping that they'd do well. So I prefer Perth to win it over any of the other possibilities.
Redder?
I think it'll be Perth, Melbourne in the grand final. Perth will get the bet out of it.
Melbourne City?
No, Melbourne victory for sure. I
And
think
you,
those two.
and you think Perth will win it?
I think Perth will win it.
Who do you
I
think
don't
won the
really
Player of the Year?
It's a tough one.
Diego Costa. What's his name?
Economides, that's a good call.
Conor Meady's
Captain.
been good. Castro's been good.
Castro.
Honda's been okay. Yeah, I'd probably give it to Castro. I think. He's been
Castro.
influential.
Big call. Steve, you Economides? Player of the Year. Frangie, who's going to win it?
Victory.
Victory.
Perth victory. Perth and victory. Grand final victory will clinch it.
And what do you reckon? Blowout
Extra-
or right in the death? They'll just take a goal like last year.
That'd be a proper special right, losing the grand final.
I reckon extra time.
How many grand finals would it be if he loses it? Is it
4?
3?
We lost
4.
3, I think.
You
So
guys
this
haven't
would be
been in 3 grand finals. 2.
2, yeah.
Two?
Two,
First
yeah, it
2
was
years.
2.
That was it.
Was it?
Yeah.
You guys lost to Mariners and,
And then Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Yeah.
Mm.
Brisbane as well.
No,
That's
that was
right.
semis.
Oh,
Brisbane.
That was
That was
semis.
the grand final.
No.
Look, we're going to have to go.
we have to get.
Brisbane
To the
grand final,
VAR.
it took like 20,000,
We
wasn't
do
it?
a
The
podcast,
podcast
fact
VAR.
check. Yeah.
I'm sure.
You guys like VAR?
Because,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it's 300% because we're up with like a minute to go. Then they scored the equaliser and then they won.
What's his name?
Enrique.
No, the one scored the equaliser. What's his,
For sure, Enrique scored the winner.
Yeah, it's probably a good topic. VAR. Haven't discussed it.
I don't like it.
Disgusting. What? It's a joke, bro. Let's count down to kickoff, bro.
You don't like it, Frangie?
Nah. I just reckon just let the game flow.
But you don't reckon like with offsides and stuff like that?
Nah.
Do you think it's because the VAR's the person behind it is incompetent?
Nah, I just don't like it. I just want the game to be natural in a way.
Mhm.
Is
know what I
is
mean?
it the person behind the computer or is it the main ref that has to overcall?
Well, that
I'm
became a
pretty
new
sure it's the
thing.
ref.
It's,
But it takes a natural
It's-
flow. That's what we've said all
it
along.
cuts it, yeah.
It takes natural flow. Sometimes you get it. Sometimes you don't get the call. At the end of the year, you hope that all the calls even it out. It's football, man. That's what it's always
what
been.
about like in the Champions, you got the extra ref in the box?
That's alright to have.
I
But
think that's
That's fair
alright.
to have.
Because
Do they
that's
do
for penalties for dives. Yeah, they stop
Feel
those.
sorry for him, mate. The ball's always on the other end. He's just chilling on the other end. Come to me.
Just-
Catching a cold.
No, he gets the second half.
Uh,
He gets one half at least. So who you think player of the year is?
Castro.
Castro. It's a 2 for Castro.
Yeah, he's been influential.
He's a good player.
and he's been playing consistently for since he first came to the
Yeah.
83. For the
Well, I was
last three
hoping when
seasons.
Oscar left FC, they'd go for Castro
Mm,
because he's quality.
yeah,
He is quality. He's 36 now.
yeah.
EPL winners: Man City or Liverpool? Redder.
We'll still, I don't know how long's left we got left.
So I think
of
it's 6 games
I'm
left.
gonna go with
Liverpool's
what?
got 4 games left.
Do they?
City got 5.
the-
I'm gonna go with what Fergie said.
Well,
Liverpool.
mm.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he said that we'll beat Man City and you guys will clinch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
But
gonna
as
go
a
with
true
him.
Liverpool, true United fan, you don't want to say Liverpool in it.
I don't think anyone in the Premier League other than Liverpool fans want to see Liverpool
No
win it.
chance.
Yeah.
I
But-
certainly don't want Liverpool to win it.
Mm.
Chelsea.
Not jealousy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you look at
fans
that
are
next-
terrible,
Well,
That's
look
the
man.
one thing you can hang over our heads that we've never won the Premier League. We win the Premier League, then it's game back on.
They're ringing
Where's
up
your- where's your 5 stars?
the Champions
That's it.
Leagues.
Yeah.
We won 1 Premier League in the
Yeah.
last 30 years.
5 stars. 5
But look at
stars.
their fixtures compared to City's fixtures.
Yeah, but that's me and Steve had this conversation. The other teams they struggle with, they can
We've
pump
always
the
been
big
able to beat
teams.
the top
Yeah.
teams.
But then you go
I
to
th-
Bournemouth
I
and then
thought
they
they may
buckle.
have like dropped points against Chelsea.
Chelsea was massive.
Yeah.
Let's
That
look
was
at
a
the last
big
week.
win.
We've had Tottenham, Porto, Chelsea. Massive weekend. I don't think we could see the goal.
And it wasn't even that. It was they demolished Chelsea. Like Chelsea had
Well,
no
City still,
chances.
United. That's
Tottenham.
one of the Tottenham.
Leicester.
It's a very,
Leicester's
very
not.
close one.
Still.
They can just
I
pull
don't
it
know.
out.
Leicester's one of those teams that will stand in
I
front
think
of
they
your face
were.
and
I
battle.
don't think they're that anymore. They're not as a major threat anymore.
Yeah,
But again, it's Premier League. Even the worst teams can turn up and beat you.
yeah.
Look at Wolves turned up and beat Man City early in the season.
Mhm.
But the thing is as well, last year City absolutely hammered it. Like this year, it feels good because like there's actually.
Well, they were saying if Liverpool lose, they would have lost with 97 points.
if they won all
If
the
they
rest
win
of
all the
the
games.
Yeah, if they
and
win all the
City
games and
Wow.
they
Yeah.
still lose,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
97 points and you couldn't win it. But like that's
And Liverpool have lost 1 game. If you look at that across other seasons, like it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
If
man,
you've
it's-
lost one game, and you're still potentially in second spot.
yeah, it's crazy, man. 97 points. Like teams are aspiring to hit 100. When they're blowing out, they're 20
Mhm.
points ahead.
Mm.
These guys are 97 and will be
Damn.
98 for. Would
Mm.
98 or would it be neck to neck? I don't know, but I hope Liverpool
They're
don't
probably
win.
behind if City win all their games.
Who's got the golden boot so far?
I think it's Sterling.
Isn't it? No, I think it's Aguero and Salah is second.
I think
I'd
Salah's
probably
second.
say.
No, he was up there because he hadn't scored for ages, but he was still right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he
He's-
scored the other week.
He
and
still
scored a
scores.
couple.
Did you guys see Aubameyang's goal this morning?
No, I don't
Keeper
care.
went to clear it. He chased the keeper, hit his boot, went
Yes,
in.
did he celebrate?
Yeah, he did. And it was because it passed back across the goal, and he was running from like the corner post basically.
Yeah.
Foster's gone to clear it. He's chased it, put his foot in front. He's kicked his foot, and then bang straight in the goal. It was hilarious. But that'll wrap it up for today, guys. Frangie, it was a pleasure having you in. Hopefully,
Thank
the
you,
rest of the
guys.
season you continue to win those Team of the Week awards
Hopefully.
and get the Player of the Season.
Hopefully.
And hopefully, we do hope you score a goal.
Quality. Thank you,
boys.
lads.
Yep.
Till next week.
Till next week, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
So yeah, but